I know that YouTube and the FTC have tried to comply with this whole COPPA law thing, but maybe after seeing this video, they could probably change their minds and think things differently. Because usually when it comes to parents, sometimes they're not really responsible for their own actions. And by the way, with the whole COPPA law thing, I know they're trying to best when it comes to protecting their kids, but there are some parents that are just so irresponsible. Sometimes they let the internet and sometimes video games be the babysitter, and sometimes, yeah, they let video games be the babysitter, which is not a good thing. Let me tell you, because I have 3 stories to share in regards to, well, video games, obviously. So let's get started with that. While I was at work, a workmate of mine came up to me and asked me, "Hey Paul, do you have any advice for video games?" Yeah, sure. What is it? Well, I had a neighbor who was complaining that this child was playing a video game, learned all of these cuss words, and the parent, when he saw the video game, learned all these cuss words and everything, and she was shocked. What am I supposed to tell her? Have you told her to look at the game's rating before she bought it? No. Well, there's your problem right there. That's what I'm getting at. And that was the first time it happened. The second time I was at my favorite video game store, EB Games, and I saw this customer walking around and said to one of the employers that worked there, saying, "Hey, do you have a Call of Duty game that doesn't swear as much?" And I was just looking at him, and I was pretty much just looking at him with a disgust look on my face, just thinking, dude, are you serious? It's a Call of Duty game. It's rated M. What are you thinking? However, though, I didn't say anything because I don't want to get kicked out the store. And the third time happened, I was at my favorite video game store, EB Games, and they were just looking around, trying to find a video game for their kid, asked the employee for advice, and the first thing he recommended, and the first thing they were looking around trying to find a game to play, and she picked out the new Outer Worlds game. You guys know the Outer Worlds. They're made by the Obsidian Entertainment after they pretty much got laid off by Fallout and 76 and Bethesda. They pretty much looked at this, goes, "Hey, is this good for my kid?" They didn't even, and the funny thing is, which before she picked it up, she just basically said, "Hey, is this good for my kid?" She didn't even bother to look at this. She didn't even bother looking at the rating. And she just said, "Hey, is this good for my kid?" Yeah, it totally is. Your kid will be entertained for hours. Oh, good. I might as well just get that then. And I'm pretty much just here looking at the parent, goes, "Are you an idiot? Look at the rating before you buy it." God, why are these parents so irresponsible for their actions? And yet, when they picked up like either violent behavior or they swear off their own head, the parents actually blame the video game, but not themselves. Who do you think bought the game for their kid in the first place? God, And this same thing applies to the internet as well. There are some very dangerous sites that a child might come across, but yet there are some parents who think it's okay to just give a tablet to a kid, and they just think, yeah, it's fine. I let video games and the tab and the internet be the babysitter. I'm not responsible for the child. Really? Come on, that's like you pretty much say to the FTC, hey, would you like to have my baby? I don't want it. Why are parents so irresponsible for their actions? Seriously. And the whole thing complies with this whole COPPA law thing. Why are content creators like us getting punished for a parent's stupidity and a parent's actions? I know they're saying, oh, the internet's basically dangerous. Oh, video games are very violent and they swear a lot as well. Well, who's the dumb dipshit that gave a kid a tablet? Who was the dumb idiot that gave their kid a violent video game? Who do you think did that in the first place? That'll be the parent. We need to teach these parents to be responsible for their own actions. If I met a beautiful lady who's pretty much into me, we have myself a bigger apartment, bigger than this one, actually fall in love, get married, and actually raise a family, I would actually be a lot more responsible than any of those other parents. I'll make them start from the very bottom and work their way up. Because I'm worried about a kid's age, firstly. Because if they were starting out as a child, I'll get something that's right for their age, and as they grow up, so will their interests. Even if they did say, but Dad, a lot of kids say that this game is cool. You have to wait until you're older, son. That's something that I would do. We need to teach these parents be responsible for their own actions, because it's just getting ridiculous how parents are still blaming video games for violent behavior, and yet they think it's okay to give their kid an R-rated Grand Theft Auto game. They need to be a lot more responsible than this. It's just downright pitiful. And the same thing complies with the internet. They're pretty much saying that, oh, the internet is very dangerous, it's full of hackers, it's full of very scary people. Well, who do you think gave the kid a tablet? But heck, that's basically my story. YouTube, FTC, if you ever get time to have a look at this video, maybe you might think twice before complying with the new law that you're about to put on us, because I think it's just unfair that you're punishing us, the content creators, but yet you're not really punishing the parents for being their lazy behavior and their behavior because sometimes they think it's okay to give a kid a tablet and let the tablet just be the babysitter, while they're just saying, yeah, don't worry, it's fine. No, it isn't. Your child might come across some sites, either by massive porn, a hacker might blackmail them into giving your information. Anything can happen. A friend of mine actually said this once in regards to video games, and the same thing applies to internet, and that is, do not let the video game be the babysitter. And the same thing applies to the internet. Don't let the internet be the babysitter, because you never know what's going to happen like 2 seconds off. And that's pretty much my message as of right now. But you get the point of what I'm trying to say, though. My name is Paul.K.Dragon, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later.